know, this is the University of California, Riverside, a world institution education and where solutions are made. So don't have your intellect insulted. You can actually think about this issue and take a stand.
We'll move on towards the side. You all have 10 minutes.
Hello, everybody. So I heard this lovely quote a little bit earlier, and it said, you buy what you value. I hope I'm not messing up that quote. But it's basically like, you buy what you value, right? And I just want to point out that Princeton University and countless other Palestinian activists have confirmed that the relationship between Sabra and the IDF is not particularly correct. And that is a direct quote, and I'm happy to forward you the citations if you would like that. So if I am what I value, I really value companies that do not have a direct relationship, and that is why I eat Sabra hummus.
That's a lot of good. Are you contracting like
Yeah, then I have also my report. You can go over it later in more detail.
for sure? I think it's also important to get the names if you're able to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say the word sabra comes from the Arabic word for prickly pear.
Maybe say it again.
The word sabra comes from sabra, which is the Arabic word for prickly pear. It is similar in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other Semitic languages that are spoken in the area. That's true. It's a plant.
I look forward to speaking with all of you in an actual dialogue with all parties involved, and I will not take the rest of the 10 minutes to attempt to discredit my fellow students. By the way, I'm not a Trump supporter.
You all still have 9 minutes.
Okay. Do I have to use this mic?
You don't have to.
Alright, so to just reference what they're saying about divestment being successful, they reference two different things. They reference the apartheid in South Africa, and they reference divesting in for-profit prisons. For-profit prisons are not government bodies, and also the apartheid in South Africa was not a polar conflict that is funded by mega bodies of economies in the globe today. So this is a totally different conflict. The reason why I compare it to the sanctions in Iran is because of the fact that it is so polar and that it has bodies that are huge in the globe today that have a lot of money funding these problems. So when we see that Iran is a huge polar conflict, we see that people like the United States and China and Syria and Russia, they care about this a lot. So when things happen there, they pour money into the problem. When things happen in Israel, they're going to pour money into the problem. I think the problem is that there are inhumane things happening in Israel. That's not up for debate. The things that happen to the Palestinians are inhumane. The settlements are inhumane, to me personally at least. But the issue here is how to solve them. And divesting is not going to do that. Because when you take the money from Sabra, even if there is a direct link between Sabra and the IDF, when you take Sabra's money away, you see that there will be another superpower in place ready to fund that right away. They're going to give them the money, they're going to give Bibi the money, and he's going to do whatever he wants with it. And at that point, it doesn't matter. At that point, the only thing that matters is that Sabra does provide jobs in Israel. Sabra does provide money for the economy in Israel, and when you take that away, you hurt Israeli citizens' lives, but you don't hurt the government of Israel, and you don't hurt their ideologies. So if you don't agree with the ideologies of the government, it's non sequitur. It doesn't matter. Taking the money away through Sabra is not going to stop them.
Okay, so 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm Italian. My English is not the best, so I hope that you understand what I'm gonna say. And the point is that in this room, we are asked, we are put on this kind of inquisition against Israel and Israel activity, that these inquisition things should be done in 30 minutes, and we are going to point the finger against all the bad things that they say that have been done. Of course, this is a complicated issue, but why don't you mention Hamas, which is one of the, you know, it's one of the most tyrannic places on earth. It's like fascism was nothing against that. If you want to enforce a dialogue or an explanation of the things, you should say the whole truth. So when we talk about alternative, you know, reality, those are lies. There are so many lies. And to debunk those lies, it would need a long, long conversation. And all these things that we are doing around the Sabra hummus is just a way to put on an inquisition tribunals against students, Israeli students. We already seen these kind of things, and Jewish students, because it's not only about Israel. This has effect only also on Jewish students, which, as I mean, what are we doing? What is this? We have seen those things in the Middle Ages. We are in the university. We are in the year 2017. I invite you to have a different approach about these things. I mean, I'm not asking them to be objective. I'm not expecting them to be objective, but I'm asking you to have a better, you know, to have a better understanding of these things that cannot be done in 30 minutes, and all these lies that have been done, like accusing and pointing the finger, it's just not the way that it should be done. I mean, I'm Italian, I have a different background, and that's my point of view. Thank you for your attention.
I would just like to also make a quick announcement. Please direct all comments to the chair.
Yeah, let's not look back to what we're saying from us.
Hi guys, I'm Tim. Is this working? Can I tell?
Yes.
Alright, cool. I just want to give a little background about myself and my parents. My parents were Persian, so obviously I'm going to be referencing what Ben was talking about with the Iranian Revolution. So my parents fled when the Shah got overthrown, and my dad was lucky enough to go to America, go to UCLA, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that. I can't remember right now because I'm kind of dealing with this too. But anyways, not contagious, don't worry. Sorry. My mom, on the other hand, the only place she was able to go was to Israel. So somehow, I remember the story of my grandma from my mom's side traveling to like a donkey and carrying like luggage and stuff from Iran to Israel with like a family and all this stuff. And I remember hearing that as a kid. And the biggest lesson I got from that is I don't know what my family would have done without Israel. I am Persian. I am Persian by ethnicity, and I was born in America. But I identify strongly as Israeli because that country took me and my family in when there was nowhere else to go. So when they like to reference that all Israelis, it seems to me, based off of listening on all this, that they believe all Israelis are racist. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but okay. Okay, I may be wrong, but I probably am wrong, and I'm pretty much shaking, and I should probably sit down. But but what I'm trying to say is all these hated talks against Israel, and they don't talk about the other side as well. I've had a few of my cousins, they've almost died due to Palestinian terror attacks, but luckily they didn't. The point I'm trying to bring is they feel like their rights of studying safely are affected by Sabra hummus being there. I kind of feel like this discussion is making my rights feeling offended of being safe on this campus. I kind of don't feel safe to talk about my Israeli background, even though I've been to Israel once. My mom has been there for 10, 15 years, and I just don't know what else to say. Like, that's pretty much it.
2 minutes and 7 seconds.
That's awesome.
Wendy, if you could make a note that using terms like they does not address the chair.
So when you are addressing me, please do not use plural terms. So utilize, you are speaking on behalf of yourself, so please use I.
I apologize. My first time doing
Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, please be respectful of all sides. At the end of the day, you all are Highlanders. You all are students who attend UCR, and that should be the priority, okay?
I can agree with that. Hi, my name's Ellen. I'm the current president of UC Riverside Salel. And for the first year of me attending this school, my mother told me, do not wear a Jewish star. You know, not wearing a Jewish star is something that's been kind of like, something that I never even thought of in my life. And when I asked her why, she's like, well, I've heard of these people on the news. And I've heard of these people, you know, who don't like Israel, and they always associate Judaism with Israel, and that you could be attacked for that. And I haven't had that experience here, so my second year here at UC Riverside, I started wearing my Star of David. And then I hear this, and my mom told me again, I really don't want you to. But I don't fear people. I never have. Because I think that people are initially good people, and I never will doubt that in my life. And I do not initiate that people are negative because of their beliefs. But I will say that when things like this are brought about, when politics are brought to campus, I think it is beautiful. But when I think that politics are invested into policy,
A minute.
it gets a little bit more complicated than that. Like we said before, or like some of my constituents have said before, this is a very complicated issue that has lasted about, give or take, 2,000 years. And I don't expect you guys to make a decision today. In fact, I'd love to have a discussion with all of you at a different time, and I think that discussion is a beautiful thing. And I think this is the beginning of it. Actually, no, it's been going on for a lot longer. So I just want to say I welcome communication with every single person in this room. And I really appreciate that this community has made me feel safe. I really hope that it continues to do so.
You all have 11 seconds. Time has expired. Hello, can you all hear me? Okay, thank you all so much for coming here and for expressing the different thoughts and concerns that you all have. I just want to remind everyone that you all are Highlanders, which means that you all have the heart and soul pride in you, which means integrity, accountability, excellence, and of course, respect. Remember that, okay? That we are all Highlanders here, and we are not trying to attack each other in any way, but we're trying here to express student concerns, student thoughts, and I really do appreciate everyone who came in today to show support. Now, we will be following up with the respective measures, and we will get in contact with you all so that we can have a discussion and sit down and see what the next steps are, which is the resolution that will go through Legislative Review Committee and its forthcoming. So that is how we are doing at this time. I will do a 5-minute recess just for everyone here and for those that need to leave so that it doesn't disrupt the rest of the meeting. We will re-adjourn at 8:35.